Hi, welcome to the Gingerbread construction series. This month we're collaborating with other industry professionals to talk about common issues and how we overcome them. Today we've got Sam Perrier, the Managing Director of Aquila Architecture. He'll be able to provide some valuable insight into the architectural industry. Thank you for coming, Sam.
Thanks for having me.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, what you guys do, how you can help potential clients, sort of service provision you guys carry out?
In a nutshell then, yep, so we provide architectural designs from concept up to stage 5, up to completion. We'll do anything from, predominantly in the MOD and the education sector. We'll do refurbs and expansions and even new builds in the resi industry as well. And after that, after we've designed it all up, we can take on the specification and the contract administration duties as well.
Fantastic. Thanks, Sam.
Glad to be here. No, I've never built a gingerbread house before. I have drawn one quite recently, but other than that, I've never built one.
Personally, I've never partaken in a build of one. I've eaten a few though. Right.
You going to be right opening that?
Yeah, I'm going to try my best. Have we got a method statement in place for this?
Oh yes, yeah.
Was this part of the tender specification?
Look at that, it's got some weight to it.
Right, again, I've never built one of these, so this will be interesting. Now, we do have an instruction manual, but...
Can I start having a look?
Yeah, by all means. But don't eat, no.
It smells good.
But being adults in the construction industry, I think we should be able to make this work.
And we've washed our hands as well.
Yeah.
Always important.
Hands have been washed. Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
There's more pieces than I expected.
Look, now that is a lovely clay tile roof, I would suggest.
Excellent. We can get rid of this, can't we? It's quite often that clients will ask for a deduction, or we will submit a proposal or a quotation, and they'll turn around and say, well, hold on, because the other company has quoted me X amount less. Now, that rings alarm bells straight away if there is a significant price discrepancy, for me anyway, because it leads me to believe that either there's been a misrepresentation somewhere, the documents haven't been quite right, or the other company just aren't competent or qualified enough to carry out this particular project. Throughout the industry, the project sort of pricing schedule remains very similar. That's how we're all in competition. That's how the industry works. So instantly, if there is a very, very big difference in price, for me, ding, 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 alarm bells.
Yeah, sure. No, I appreciate that. One thing that we do get is clients will send out a project proposal, which has our fee on it. And we'll get a call back from the client. They say, lovely, excellent proposal. Is there anything you can do to drop your price? Now, our answer to that is we can reduce our fee, but the only way we can do that is by reducing our services as well. If we were going to give a lower fee, we would have put it in there straight from the bat, if that makes any sense. So yes, in answer to that question, we can reduce the fee only by reducing the service. Right, we might need
glue.
We might need glue. Right.
Let's glue the foundations first.
Do you reckon?
And then let it dry.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah. Do the foundations first. I think this question can be answered in a multitude of ways. I think quite often it's a lastminute.com, oh, we need to do this by Monday, and you'll get the inquiry in on a Friday. In that case, the emails are responded to immediately. When you try and implement an element of proactive project management and start planning from the start, sometimes it will take weeks and months to even get a response back from the client as far as next steps and what to do. Sam, what do you think?
Yeah, I haven't really got too much more to add on that. We're always conscious of trying to send emails back as quickly as possible. Now, you know, an RFI or request for information, you tend to try and get those back within 7 days under contract. But if you can send an email back saying, yeah, we acknowledge the query, you don't necessarily have to answer it then and
Correct.
there. But just saying that you've received the email and that we're on it, I don't know, that communication, we always find that helpful. So we always try to do that as well. And then obviously try and get the query answered as quickly as possible. What are you doing there, Hugh? Just putting some up the wall?
I'm just putting some acrylic fire-rated mastic here just to make sure the compartmentation remains
And what
compliant.
is that? What's that rated to, Hugh? Just out of interest.
Well, depending on the size of the aperture.
Yeah. Could we get 120 minutes out of it? Do you
no,
think?
I think a 60-minute max being a gingerbread construction.
You've done well there, mate. I'm just going to try and do what you've done. Is it just up the side there?
Not everyone can be as good as me.
I know, man. You sure you haven't done this before?
Once or twice.
Do you mind if I jump on that one here?
Please. I'm going to chisel away at this inconsistent muck in the brickwork.
If you take off those edges, mate, that would be great whilst I answer the question. So just to repeat the question then, so how do last minute changes impact things like planning and the design? You can have amendments to a design and perfectly fine. That's usually part of the process. We'll come up with a design, present it to the client, and they might have amendments that they want to see. When it starts getting expensive and impacts program is when these amendments come late on in the project. So we will always instigate what we call a design freeze. So we'll put a date on that. We'll tell the client, make sure they're aware of it, that they can make amendments up to a certain date. Anything after that is going to incur costs and potentially impact the program quite significantly. For example, if we've gone to planning with the design and it's approved and the client wants changes, that design is then going to have to go back out to planning and add at least 2 months onto the program. It's our duty to make the client aware of that at the right stages and then ensure that it's implemented correctly.
And also, especially when we're looking at things like cladding remediation projects, even running things past the building safety regulator, the lead time on that is so immense that you get to a standstill point where you have to reapply for the BSO.
Absolutely. But you've got to remember that we're here to advise the client.
Correct.
You can't assume that the client knows that straight off the bat.
Correct.
So ensuring that we've advised them correctly.
And implemented the golden thread as much as possible.
We've got the golden thread, we've got the design freeze. Another good deadline that we like to set, of course, is the base date for a contractor to set his tender return.
Correct.
So
yes.
if we've gone out to tender to 3 different contractors, say, or more, and then the client makes changes 2 days before the tender return date, the contractor can't be expected to implement those design changes.
Not in that period of time.
Not in that period of
never.
time. Go on then, champ. You do one side. There we go.
It. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Right, make sure that make sure it's got a little bit of some eaves on it.
Oh.
Bring your ridge down a bit. Yeah, lovely, mate.
Let's get
Got to do it before this pug dries off. Oh no, hold on there, mate. Otherwise the water's going to come in.
Ah, well done. See, this
is what you pay for, right? This is what you get.
Something I personally come across quite often off the back of existing fire risk assessments where action is necessary, for example, on the fire compartmentation side of things, and the FRA is almost a holistic overview of the building itself. It doesn't give you the same information as a compartmentation survey does, and this is what a lot of people struggle to perhaps understand, and my job here is to educate those people and make them realise the implications of not having one of those carried out. For example, an FRA, a fire risk assessment, will potentially say fire compartmentation remedials needed, and it may or may not have a photograph. Now, from a client perspective, someone outside of the industry, they think that's sufficient evidence to provide a price from. However, for us to be able to identify...
Sorry, I'm making a mess.
Yes. That's all right. For us to be able to identify the problem, we need to undertake a survey to ascertain various bits of information. For example, what infrastructure and services are penetrating through the wall, what the wall or floor is made from, things like that. Otherwise, we cannot guarantee that this will work. We'll never be able to achieve sign-off. We'll never be able to issue third-party certification. And if we went and carried this job out incorrectly, we're susceptible to lose our accreditation, which is something that we're not willing to do.
I'm so sorry, I'm making a bit of a mess with these little beads, but we're getting there with it. There's some snowflakes here as well, if you want to jam some of those on.
I'm going to put those on the roof.
The floor's looking really good now.
I think for, especially for smaller businesses and smaller enterprises, companies may take on 1 or 2 projects at a time, and they will have ascertained a payment term with the end client, for example 30, 60, 90, 120 days, whatever it may be. The issue arises when that payment isn't delivered on time. So for this particular business, if that's the only job they have running and they have paid all of the staff, all of the capital expenditure, operational expenditure and the manufacturers, you're left with a negative balance and have zero cash flow to run any other projects, pay yourself, pay potentially some of your other staff, you know, office staff, so on and so forth. So by creating late payments, it creates a knock-on effect throughout the industry, and other businesses will suffer from such.
What's happened?
It's snowing.
Do you want some more mastic?
Yeah. It's not mastic. It's pre-snow.
There you go, man. There's plenty. Jam that on there. There you go.
Perfect. Let's make it 3D. Let's have something now.
See, this is called collaborative working.
Yes.
This is the worst gingerbread house.
Who are you?
Yeah. Worst gingerbread house.
I really like the ability to make a change and to educate people. I think some people see work as a job, and obviously we do it to pay bills, but I like making a positive impact. I like knowing that when we've delivered a care home and made it compliant and signed it off, we know that someone's mother, someone's grandmother is safe, or at least from our perspective, we've done everything we possibly can to ensure that the right procedures are in place to avoid any mishaps. And that's really quite a nice feeling sometimes when you're able to hand over a project to a client and go, right, we've got that, we've done everything we needed to do, and you're safe. And that's the most important thing, you know.
Yeah, it's not just a job. It's not just a paycheck at the end of the day. I completely agree with that. We do a lot of work in the education sector, like I mentioned, and we were doing an expansion project for a school. And you're presenting this design to teachers who care and also students who care, and you can't help but get sort of emotionally involved with it as well.
Agreed.
So yeah, I absolutely love that as well. So having like an emotional attachment to the product you're delivering, to the service you're delivering as well.
Because that's the difference, really. It's not a product, it's a service, it's a piece of you, it's the late nights, it's the how are we going to overcome this, and you know, I know yourself as well as I do that we thrive on that pressure, and I think that's why we have the ability to deliver excellence, because we will go above and beyond compliance, and we'll look at things and analyse things, use previous experiences to almost pave a way into delivery with very, very minimal disruption.
Yeah, there's a certain, me in particular, there's a certain part of me I can only tap into if I'm emotionally invested in something.
Yes, definitely.
And that's what I would say. It's an avenue for emotional investment, as well as obviously it being my job. I'm more than happy with this gingerbread house. I wish it was my house.
To conclude this, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Thank you for your continued support and trust in the business to deliver the best possible outcomes for everyone involved. Sam, thank you so much for joining us on our first ever Gingerbread Construction Series episode.
It's been a pleasure, mate. Yeah, it's the first gingerbread house. It's the first one of these sort of podcasts that I've done, so hopefully I wasn't too terrible at it. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. From all of us at Meritas, Merry Christmas.